In this video, I'm going to share something that not many people are talking about in the new Xmas Tesla software update. So find out what it is right after this. G'day, my name's Chris and I cover electric vehicles from an Aussie perspective. I've been fortunate enough to review almost all out there, so if you're new to the channel, subscribe. Absolutely helps out the channel. Alright, let's just briefly go through this new update. It's pretty good, some excellent stuff, some pretty mediocre stuff. So find out what I think about it and yeah, what that awesome feature is now. First up, they've added Apple Podcasts, which will be great news for some people who use this service compared to, let's say, Google Podcasts, which is going to be disappearing soon. A new game, Castle Gone Bad, along with some other additions to Tesla Arcade, such as Beach Buggy Racing, that's got some new vehicle and tracks, Polytopia Diplomacy, and if you've got a PS4, PS5 or Xbox controller, you can actually get rumble effects through arcade games. This one's a huge one, custom lock sounds, and to do that, simply go to Arcade, Boombox, if you've got it installed, turn on lock sound. You can either choose random. This is something that people don't necessarily know about, in that you can actually do a custom lock chime sound format. And this is what my car sounds like. Next up, and this has been long overdue and very welcome here, is that you can now do some trip planning through the mobile app. So in there, go to location, navigate and say enter any destination, then simply edit the trip and add a stop. When you're all said and done, send it to the car and this is what it looks like. Alternative routes when driving. This is not necessarily new, but I think what's happened here is it's a bit more apparent that you can actually select one over the other. Staying in the Tesla app, you can now actually get more cameras in live camera view mode. Now this is only for people who have paid premium connectivity, and you can view your live cameras through the mobile app. So to enable this, first up, make sure you go through controls, safety, view live camera via mobile app, and we now get the B pillars that weren't there before. Next up, and I think one that people have been wanting, and I'm glad it's here, but it's just not quite there yet in my opinion, and that is automatic blind spot camera. And what will happen now is that when you put your indicator on, it will alert you with some red shading along the edge. So to enable this, go to Controls, Autopilot, Automatic Blind Spot. Whilst this is a good start, I'd still like to see a bit more, because at the moment you might get that warning sound if you try to do something silly, but like myself with a 2022 Tesla Model Y, there's nothing in my actual A pillar or on the mirror to say that something's there. So unless you're actually looking at the screen where this little video feed comes up, you won't really know it's there. So I like something around vibration in the steering wheel. Next up is light show, and I will show you this at the end of the video and potentially maybe get a copyright strike, but whatever, that's alright, all goods. And this one's definitely very controversial, and it comes off the back of the NitSurf, who actually have asked Tesla to do more nags through Autopilot. And one of the things that's going to happen now is that you can actually get yourself a suspension, and when you received 5 forced Autopilot disengagement, Autopilot will be disengaged for the remainder of that trip. Now, to get that, you had to have ignored several audio and visual warnings for inattentiveness. And Tesla's noting here that driver-initiated disengagements do not count as improper usage and expected from the driver. So, to get around it, keep your hands on the wheel and remain attentive at all times. Defeating Autopilot suspension by putting it into park. Back to that. And completing out this update, there's been a few minor updates, like if you use title playlists and albums, you can now shuffle them. In Apple Music or Spotify, you can show your account profile image to indicate which account you are using for each. When you search through the menu system in controls, it will now actually include stuff within the owner's manual. Your vehicle will now adjust power level of each DC charging station, so battery preconditioning when navigating to any charger and charging will be more efficient. So this is very much welcome and something that I've wanted for ages. When you search for the vehicle map charging locations, you can now filter between 2 charging speeds. 3 lightning bolts shows the location with more than 70 kilowatts, 1 lightning bolt shows location with 70 kilowatts or less. That's very different. So before you used to have level 1, 2 and 3 as I'll call them. Essentially destination chargers, slightly faster chargers and fast chargers. But now we're actually got only one or the other. So yeah, Water Gardens, that's near me, and that's got a destination charger versus, let's go 3, so it's a toggle system, and the Mini Pond supercharger is closest to me, so we tap on this, we're going to get more information. Let's see if it brings up the photographs like it did before. Seems to have taken the photographs out. That's interesting, wonder where that went. And it's showing the current price. Okay. Potentially a good improvement, potentially, but again, it's not showing you all the fast chargers around you. Like I've got one at Westfield, and that's not showing on here. It's not a Tesla supercharger, but still, be nice to be able to navigate to somewhere else. So there's a complete release for someone who's got a Tesla Model Y without enhanced autopilot or full self-driving. What do you think? Was this a good update or not? In my opinion, it's pretty good. There's some good stuff in here. Still, it's a work in progress. And look, Tesla's providing this to us for free. And so I really can't complain about that. And giving them feedback like I have in this video is only but a good thing. So if you enjoyed this content, please do subscribe. But otherwise, let's just get into the light show and have a great festive season and Happy New Year.